Passage of the county government's additional allocation, number 2 bill, Senate bills number 4 of 2022. Honorable members, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order number 41-4 of the National Assembly Standing Orders, I wish to convey to the House that I have received a message from the Senate regarding the passage of county government's additional allocations, number 2 bill, Senate bills number 4 of 2022. Honorable members, the county government's additional allocations, number 2 bill, Senate bills number 4 of 2022, was published by Kenya Gazette Supplement number 163 of 26th October 2022 as a bill to provide for the additional allocations to county governments for the year 2022-2023 financial year. The responsibilities of national government and county governments pursuant to such allocations and for connected purposes. Honorable members, the message conveys that on Tuesday, the 22nd of November, 2022, the Senate considered and passed the said bill with amendments and now seeks the concurrence of the National Assembly on the bill. Honorable members, Standing Order number 143, sub 1C requires the Speaker to cause a bill received from the Senate to be read at first time upon conveyance of its message. I therefore direct the clerk to have the bill listed in the order paper for the first reading for the next sitting. Pursuant to Standing Order number 143-2, the bill now stands referred to the Budget and Appropriations Committee for consideration. I urge the committee to prioritize the bill for its possible conclusion before the House proceeds on recess next week, given its urgency. The House is accordingly informed. Thank you. Yes, Honorable Wanda, you are rising on. Yes. Yeah.
I'm just rising pursuant to the communication we just delivered concerning that bill that has come from the Senate, and a bill whose import, without necessarily preempting debate, a bill whose import is the increased allocation of revenues or funds to the counties. And you have indicated, of course, quite correctly, that you'd want this House to consider it before it goes on the long recess. Mr. Speaker, that is fairly okay. But the only issue I have is, even as we rush to conclude these matters, I'm aware that a number of counties, as we speak, have not yet received their rightful allocations from the National Treasury. As we speak, there are counties which are basically operating on shoestring budgets. Counties whose service delivery and other operations have basically ground to a halt as a result of either delayed or totally lack of release of funds that have been duly allocated to those counties by not only this House, but by the Senate as well. So even as we endeavor to prosecute that matter, Honorable Speaker, I'm just bringing the attention of the House that something still needs to be done. Because you know, Mr. Speaker, these counties are a lifeline to some of us. In this country, Mr. Speaker, the only money you can be sure of is the money which has gone to the counties and the constituencies. Monies which have been left here in Nairobi is money which you cannot be sure of. You cannot be sure of if history is to go by. It is money which is at the mercy of a clique, a small clique of persons who think that these resources belong to them. Mr. Speaker, therefore, I would want to, as we consider this matter in the fullness of time, I would want to appeal once more to the National Treasury that they release all monies which are correctly and properly due to county governments, so that those monies can be used to provide services to our people, even though we know a few county governments are involved in wanton corruption. But that should not be a hindrance to frequent and proper release of funds. Thank you. There's nothing out of order, you know. Thank you.
What's your point of order, Honorable Chepkonga? Can you come forward then, if you can't get that one right? Yeah.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. In fact, I was not going to raise on a point of order against the minority leader, but since he appears to be protesting that I have
also biased. It's overtaken.
No. I'm raising on a point of order, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I requested the substantive speaker for a ruling with regard to the Committee on Delegation on matters to do with regulations that have not been forwarded to the committee. And Mr. Speaker, while I'm still there, you should have ruled Honorable Pio Wandai out of order for raising Senate issues. Raising Senate issues on the floor of the National Assembly.
Order. You don't direct the chair. You don't direct the chair. The information I have is that that communication is ready and it will be delivered on Tuesday next week. Proceed. Next. Next order.
Order number 4, petitions. Order number 5, papers.
Any papers to be laid by the majority leader or his deputy or the chief whip? Majority leader, do you have papers to lay on the...
Honorable Speaker, I have papers to lay. But the leader of minority was engaging me on other papers that are yet to be laid. So I was just informing him that those will come later at the appropriate time. Therefore, Honorable Speaker, allow me to lay the following papers on the table of the House today, Thursday, November 24th, 2022. Legal notice number 213 of 2022 relating to the Public Finance Management Financial Inclusion Fund Regulations 2022 and the annual report and financial statements of the Kenya Civil Aviation Authority for the financial year ended 30th June 2020. The annual report and financial statements of the Nuclear Power and Energy Agency for the year ended 30th June 2020. Annual report, the second quarterly report from the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission for the period covering 1st April 2022 to 30th June 2022. Reports of the Auditor General and financial statements of the following institutions for the year ended 30th June 2021 and the certificates therein. Energy and Petroleum Regulatory Authority, Pwani University, Kenya Maritime Authority Staff Mortgage and Car Loan Scheme, Kamukunji Technical and Vocational College, Gong Technical and Vocational College, National Council for Persons with Disabilities, Child Welfare Society of Kenya, Anti-Doping Agency of Kenya, National Council of Children's Services, Kenya Industrial Property Institute, Scrap Metal Council, Cast Talanta Football Club, Training Institute, and Keroka Technical Training Institute. 7, report of the Auditor General and financial statements of the following constituencies for the year ended 30th June 2021 and the certificates therein. Lafey, Banisa, Bura, Balambala, Ndhiwa, Kitutu Chache, Kamukunji, Nyeri Town, Kieni, Tetu, Roysambu, Othaya, Nyatike, Nyaribari, Masaba, Homa Bay Town, Rongo, Bomet Central, Suna West, Suna East, Suba North, Ganze, Bomachoge Chache, Karachuonyo, Wundanyi, North Mugirango, Kilifi South, Kisauni, Nyali, Jomvu, Rabai, Matuga, Msambweni, Kaloleni, Lungalunga, Uriri, Kitutu Masaba, Konoin, Bomachoge Borabu, and Bomet East. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Order number 6, notices of motion. Order number 7, questions and statements.
Question. Ordinary. Proceed. What's your point of order?
Honorable Speaker, sorry, something else just came in on papers to add.
Order. You want to lay some additional papers on?
Yes. Something that just came in, Honorable Speaker, from the stable office. Further to the paper as laid, Honorable Speaker, allow me to lay the following on the table of the House today, Thursday, November 24th, 2022. The Defense Cooperation Agreement between the Government of the Republic of Kenya and the Government of the Republic of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, and the explanatory memorandum from the Ministry of Defense. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Yeah, we are now in questions. And question 015 of 2022, the Honorable Charity Chepkonyi. Charity Chepkonyi, MP for Njoro. Okay, we'll come back to it. The Honorable Member of Parliament for Mingi West, Honorable Charles Nguna, I am made to understand that he has delegated or authorized somebody else to ask on his behalf, and that would be the Honorable Makali, Dr. Makali. Dr. Makali, could you proceed and ask that question on behalf of Honorable Nguna?
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, as you can see, I didn't have the order paper, so thank you very much for your indulgence. Honorable Speaker, I rise to ask question 037 of 2022, and this is directed to the chairperson of the Teachers Service Commission. And I'm asking this question on behalf of the member for Mwingi West, Honorable Charles Nguna. Roman 1, could the chairperson explain why 1,011 classroom teachers promoted to senior graduate teachers, job group M, in April 2017, and subsequently promoted to head teachers have not been elevated to the corresponding job group D1? That's the first Roman 1. Roman 2, Honorable Speaker, could the chairperson further explain if there are any plans to elevate the said 8 teachers to the required job group, D1, and said by when this will be done?